again, welcome everybody. And so I want to take you through a couple of slides on why we're doing digital measures. Want everybody to be kind of familiar with that process, and then we'll hopefully we'll have some time where you all can start entering in your own data after I show you a few things, a few tips and tricks, and where to enter in your information. And then we'll be around as you're entering in your data if you have any questions. And so I will definitely stop the recording at that point, so your questions about entering your own data won't be captured on the screencast. So informal, please feel free to stop me anytime something's not clear. I've been doing this a while, so it all seems kind of second nature to me, but it might not to you. So what was the need for digital measures? Now, we call it digital measures here at the University of Southern Mississippi, but the tool that we're actually using is really called Activity Insight. Digital Measures is the company, but Digital Measures is just kind of stuck. And so when you hear me talk about digital measures, please note that really what we're talking about is the tool Activity Insight, because the company Digital Measures actually has multiple tools that are available, but we're using specifically Activity Insight. One of the first things that we recognized a few years ago is we need a better communication of what we do as faculty, right? Sometimes it seems like we're yelling into a tin can telephone trying to let the outside community know what it is that we do at the university. Digital measures can help us with that. So not only will it help us communicate with the external stakeholders, but also the internal stakeholders. It's going to allow faculty to better know what other people are doing at the university and hopefully help facilitate collaborations. It's going to help, again, by connecting faculty to one another. There's going to be many ways when we get fully implemented where faculty will be able to go out and look at individuals' web profiles and, hey, I didn't know you were working on that. Maybe we can collaborate on something. So those types of things are going to become possible here. We need to be able to create efficiencies in our processes. Right? We're living in 2018, and a lot of what we still do at the university is paper-based and not searchable and not easily reproducible and efficient, and things are, so, this is going to help us create efficiencies in a number of the processes that we currently do here at the university. It's going to help us with accreditation. I'm sorry about that. Accreditation issues. So, for example, we are SAC COC accredited. And when we go through reaccreditation, we have to submit this thing called the SACS faculty roster. And I can only imagine how much time Bill Powell put in putting that together. If everybody has their data in digital measures, I'll be able to create the SACS faculty roster in about 30 minutes. So what took him probably, I would guess, weeks to a month can be done in a matter of minutes now, okay? And so also the various accrediting bodies that you all have to report to, you can reproduce a number of reporting requirements to them in a matter of minutes. So the last session we had a representative from nursing, Michelle Story, was here. And she looked at one of the tables that you can actually generate using data and digital measures, and she said, this would have saved so much time during our last accreditation visit. And so we're going in that kind of direction with this. And of course, valuing faculty time. As a faculty member, I can't tell you how many times somebody has asked me for the same information over and over and over again, right? Or they've asked me for the same information but in a different format. Doug, can you send me your CV? Sure, here it is. Oh, I need it in this format. Oh. And there I am in Word going back and forth, cutting and pasting. This tool will allow me to generate CVs, any number of CVs I want. I can pre-format them and it automatically populates it with my most current data. And so I can do that, send those CVs out to whoever needs it, and value our time. Just to give you an example, our annual evaluation in the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry used to take me anywhere from 2 to 3 hours every year to put all the information together. Just for that, I did it in 10 minutes this year, just with digital measures. I went in, I put in the date range, I hit go, and actually it took less than 10 minutes. It took me a little bit of time to convert it into a PDF to send to my chair, but it was there in 10 minutes. I was done because I had been entering in my information as things occurred all year long. I didn't have to go back into some paper file and look and see what I had sitting around. All right. So again, why digital measures? Well, it's used currently by 3 out of 5 universities and colleges in the United States, and it's also used by a variety of colleges and universities across the globe. It is customizable to our needs and wants. Makes it sound like I've got people. But I have an individual at Digital Measures who I can call up at any time and say, I need a report generated for this department because they need this. Send them what it is that we want, and they will generate that for us. And so they're on call, not 24/7, but, quite quickly. So their turnaround time is quite good. Usually within a couple of days, they have these things customized. So we can actually take the standard instrument that we have and customize it to what we need here at the university. It is very much so faculty focused, so it's looking at the things that faculty typically do. It is very much so customer service oriented. Again, I've got an individual that I can call. I've even got a cell number, and we can communicate and solve problems really easily. The mantra that Digital Measures uses is enter once, use infinitely, and that's something that I like to sell on this as well. You enter your data once and you can use it for any number of things. Your CV, your annual evaluation report, your faculty web profile, which we'll get to here in just a moment. You just enter the data in once and then we can use it so many ways without having to ask over and over again for the same data, okay? It currently will integrate with our existing systems. And by integrate, I mean through me at the moment. We don't have a direct pipeline built, but we pull from SOAR, we pull from SOAR HR, things that we currently are collecting data on, what my teaching schedule was, what my degrees are, all that. It gets put in one nice, convenient location. Most faculty don't recognize what is in SOAR HR because they never go in and look at their HR file. But now faculty will be able to actually go in and make sure that that information is correct. And I'll show you some more about that in a little bit. So just to kind of give you an idea, this is a little graphic that I came up with. So the arrows going into Digital Measures, those are inputs, and the arrows coming out, the big fat arrows going out, are what we're going to be able to do. And these are just some examples. So for example, where can we get data into Digital Measures? Of course, from SOAR, SOAR HR. We're going to work this summer with Office of Research Administration so that we can get the grants data into Digital Measures so that you can keep track of that as well. You can get information into Digital Measures from Google Scholar or EndNote or whatever you're using to maintain your citations. We can get data into Digital Measures by using third-party integrations such as Web of Science or Crossref or PubMed if you have publications that are out there already on the web. And of course, input from you as faculty. So what you're doing in terms of your scholarship and creative activities, any awards or recognitions that you're getting, and you can also enrich the existing record. So I'll talk to you a little bit about that. So we pull directly from SOAR on the teaching record, so I know what I've taught this past fall. I can go in and actually enrich that record. I can add things to it that aren't in SOAR. SOAR doesn't really know that it was the first time I ever taught that class, but I can go in and say, this is the first time I ever taught that class, and this is what I did to prepare for it. I can add that kind of rich information to the system. Now, what can we get out of it? I've already mentioned to you annual evaluations. I did my annual evaluation in 10 minutes, and I was done. I didn't have to provide any supporting documents because everything was linked. They got the Word document, or the PDF it was, and if they wanted to see my publications, they could click on it, and it would take them to the website and show them the first page of my publication. That's pretty nice. I no longer have to make copies and do all that kind of stuff. Again, accreditation reporting, so we can generate those reports that we need for our accrediting bodies and the various programs. You can generate faculty CV and faculty web profiles, which I'll talk to you a little bit more about in a minute, but we're already in conversation with the President's office, Krista McLeod over there. We're going through a web upgrade, and we're going to be able to generate your faculty web profile, and I say we, and by we I mean you, are going to be able to generate your own faculty web profile using the information that is put into Digital Measures. Okay? You will have control over what is on the website about you as a scholar by the information you input in Digital Measures. I don't know about you all, but my web profile is about 3 years out of date because I don't know how to program Drupal. It's got an old picture of me that's got less gray hair and which is not a bad thing, right? But and old publications. Just because I can't get in and update it regularly, I don't know how to do that. But once we integrate this with our new website, I'll be able to go in with the information that I've already entered into Digital Measures and say, put this on the web, put that on the web, and it's automatically done. And so that'll be really cool and a good use of, I think it will empower us as faculty to communicate to the external community what it is that we're doing. We're hoping 2018 by the end. We are, so the only thing I can really tell you at the moment is that they are looking at different platforms other than just Drupal, and once they make that decision, then we'll move more into the conversations about including the information that is in Activity Insight onto those faculty web profiles. So just a little bit about some implementation. Most of it kind of, just to give you a little historical perspective here, the development of the base instrument has been going on for a couple of years. I just say 2017 and before. I took over this in July of 2017, and I have to give Bill Powell a lot of credit here. He really spent a lot of time getting that base instrument kind of to where it needed to be for our launch, which we're going through right now. We did the SOAR and SOAR HR integrations, again about the same time frame. We did a faculty pilot last fall. I don't know, did anybody in here participate in that pilot? I don't think so. But I invited about 100 faculty members from across campus to participate, and about 50 of them actually did and gave some good feedback. We took that information, went back into that base instrument, and made some minor tweaks. So what you're seeing today is actually a result of input that we received from those faculty pilot participants. Last fall, I asked about 12 participants to, administrators to participate in the pilot and give me their thoughts on any kinds of tweaks or anything that needed to be done. And so, again, we made a few minor tweaks based on their input. And now we are at our launch. So the rocket's taking off, right? So right now, to get to our final destination where we want to ultimately be, we need more and more faculty data in there to build the system up as we need to. So we are thinking about, of course, the ORA integrations, which I'm going to work on in the summer, the faculty web profiles in the fall. But if we're going to go and do faculty profiles, you've got to have faculty data in there to profile it, right? We've got to have people's publications and their photographs, and all those types of things have to be in the system, or we're just going to have a faculty web profile with a bunch of blank data, and we don't want that to happen when we launch either. So we really need faculty to start using this system to get more and more information into it. Okay, and again, we're hoping by the end of the year to have those faculty web profiles up and running. Okay, and so annual evaluation and accrediting reporting would start in 2019. Now, my department did a pilot on annual evaluation this last year, and it was really kind of cool because we just made sure that our stuff was in digital measures, and we pulled the reports on for ourselves, and we were done in 10 minutes. So hopefully we'll be able to make some tweaks to it so that it serves every department on campus. Sure.
And for the annual eval, were you able to get from SOAR each course that was taught and the student evals that went with those courses?
I'll show you some examples. We didn't get the entire student eval. We only pulled one. We pulled that mean value score from the student eval. We can make some tweaks. If we need to pull more from that, we can certainly do that, but we would want to make sure that that's going to be broadly useful, because the more that we have to pull, the more I actually have to do to clean it up.
Where getting the courses taught would be relatively easy.
That's easy, yeah.
Thing, but those average evals.
Yeah, so we're pulling the mean eval score, but we're not pulling any other scores at this time. But we can certainly make some changes there if we need to. So just to give you an idea, I've talked already a little bit about web profiles. So I think it's going to be really cool that faculty are going to actually be able to update their web information in real time. It's going to be controlled by the faculty, using that information in digital measures. Again, this idea of enter once, use infinitely, right? So imagine now you're entering your data for annual evaluations, and then if you want to go update your web profile, you got to go in and type some of that same stuff into Drupal, right? This will help take care of all of that. And so right now, again, we're working with iTech and the Web Project Group to see this through. So Augusta University has already done this, and others have done this. This is the one that I picked on just because I happened to see Dr. Whiting's presentation at the Digital Measures User Group last year. And so all of the data that you're seeing on this screen, sorry that it's not coming through too good on the projection, is automatically pulled from digital measures. His photograph, who he is, what his title is, that's in the general, and then of course credentials. If you were to click on that, it would pull up, you know, where he got his degrees from the various universities, his instruction. It could pull up the courses that he regularly teaches, scholarship, his publications, and service, the service that he's done for the community, the university, And faculty can go in and search that kind of information and get an idea of what other people are doing on campus. But you as a faculty member have control over what's on your web profile. So if it's something that you don't want to share, it doesn't have to be shared. Okay? But if the things that you want people to know about publicly speaking, you can have that done. And the reason I go with Augusta University, they actually made all of their code to make this happen public domain. So our iTech folks are going to be able to integrate this, I think, pretty quickly. Once we know what our CMS is that we're going to go with. It may be Drupal, I don't know. But once we know that for sure, they'll be able to take this code, alter it for our needs, and have this up and running, I think, in pretty short order. Okay. Now, just to give you an idea of some resources, when you log into Digital Measures, you will see up here at the top a review a guide, which you can click on at any time and get some information about how to enter in data. So that's going to be available to you. I thought faculty would be able to see the Resource Center. But faculty at this time don't see the Resource Center, so that's only for the super users, and I'm one of them. So I can go in and I can use the Resource Center. So if you ever have a question about anything, please don't hesitate to send it to me. I'll go into the Resource Center and see if anybody has some information that I can send to you. So whatever it might be, don't be afraid to email me. The other thing is our Info Center page. So we actually do have an Info Center page here at the university. So if you go into the Info Center and you search for Digital Measures, it will pull up this page. So it's now, you can get it through resources, the Info Center resources page. You can bookmark that, and so you'll always have the Digital Measures login right there within that Info Center page. And then we did get some feedback at the last session to put the link on the Provost webpage and maybe the Center for Faculty Development webpage. And we're going to do that. We just haven't got to that point yet. And once that happens, we'll let everybody know about that. So I also want to let you know that I don't do this in a vacuum. I actually have a Digital Measures advisory group made up of mostly faculty from around campus. And all of these individuals help participate in the pilot, so one of the reasons why I chose them. So Dr. Alan Thompson in criminal justice, Dr. Galliani, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name, in marketing and merchandising, Jennifer Anderson from the Coast, Dr. Kenneth Shelley, Dr. Marie Danforth, Phil Bates from my department, Dr. Bob Press. Of course, Michelle Arrington, I work very closely with her because she's IR. Right? She actually builds these processes that pull the data that we import into Digital Measures. And then, of course, Allison, who has helped me any number of ways through this process, is also a member of the group. So any of these individuals, if you ever want to share with them something you don't want to share with me, that's fine. You know, seek them out, and they'll be willing to help you in any way that they can, or get the information to me, and we can see what we can do to help. So with that, I want to stop the slideshow.